In 5 minutes, it'll be a Viking axe. Not because I'm a wizard, because this Rasp is the same steel Vikings used 1,000 years ago. It's my favorite steel. It is called WK42. Do I need to explain what 42 means? Good, moving on. While I turned this Rasp into an axe, 3 things you didn't know about Vikings. Viking axes were not weapons. They were tools. The same axe chopped wood on Monday and chopped people on Friday. A multi-tool before that was a brand. Most war axes were not designed for war. A blacksmith took a carpenter's axe, drove the blade thin and wide. That was your battle axe. Minimum material, maximum damage. These guys figured out metallurgy with no textbooks. Fire, a hammer, 30 years of watching their dad. YouTube didn't exist that time, sorry. Scandinavian forges were built on fjord shores, pit in the ground, tunnel underneath, and wind of the water did the work of a bellows. 2300 Fahrenheit, found all along the Baltic Sea and Northern Europe, which means the blacksmith went on the raids. Sure, he ate more than the other warriors, but a broken axe in a foreign land isn't a raid, that is a problem. 1857, somebody pulls a knife out of the Thames River. 10th century Anglo-Saxon. Now in the British Museum, the Seax of Beagnoth. On the blade somebody carved the entire runic alphabet, all 28 letters. First 19 in order, the rest random. Nobody knows why. There are spelling mistakes also. Scholars think it was a magical protection. Me personally think the guy was taking an exam and he failed. A good sword at that time cost 16 milk cows. It's the Laxdæla saga telling us. 16 cows isn't a weapon, that is, your family surviving the winter or not. An axe, different story. Head was plain iron, only the edge was made out of steel. I'd bet it cost a calf and a half, and the Battle of El. Average Viking fought with a spear, a shield, and an axe. The sword was for guys who could afford it. Everyone else was working on it. The sword wasn't a weapon. It was an investment portfolio with an edge. The best swords were sided, right on the blade. You can see the picture here. Ulfberht. Nobody knows who Ulfberht was. Man, workshop, dynasty, we don't know. What we know, crucible steel, carbon 3 times higher than anything else in Europe at that time. Raw material from what is now Afghanistan and Iran, cut through chainmail, didn't break. 170 have been found. Most are fakes. Illiterate smiths copied it, and wrong. Customers didn't notice. You found out you got scammed 1 or 2 ways. A fake Rolex 10th century edition. But when your Rolex breaks, you are late to a meeting. When your sword breaks, you are late to Valhalla. Vikings named their weapons like they were alive. King Olaf axe was Hel, which means death. Gramv, Skofnog, Footbrit, Legbitter. If a weapon lived long enough, it got its own name, its own story. So, if you want an authentic Viking axe, forget the steel, forget the geometry, carve the word axe on it in runes, and misspell it for historical accuracy. 1,000 years old design, WK42 steel, and apparently I can name it whatever I want. I'm going with Rasp in memory of what it used to be. Hell was taken.